Yeah, we've got Diane Dehoney hanging out with us this morning. As I mentioned, a Cable 10 and Around 10 Hall of Famer here on our set. She's the Adult Services Manager at Paul Sawyier Public Library. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Diane, you, before we get into the nuts and bolts and the important stuff, you're invested in Illinois and Kentucky.
I am. So I am an 06 graduate of the University of Kentucky, but then I moved to Illinois to get my master's in library and information science. So my alma maters were playing each other last night. And so my mom called and she's like, "Are you torn?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. I bleed blue."
There you go. There you go.
So, I'm so excited to see our cats really rally in this tournament, and we're excited about Friday night.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that your cat at home was happy that that the game wasn't quite as close.
He was very happy because I get a little excited, and I start coaching from the couch. You know how it goes. And he's old. He's almost 19 years old, and he doesn't like it when there's a lot of noise and disturbance. So he's happy when the games are a little calmer.
I got one bonus question for you, Diane.
Yes.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Of course.
And if any of our viewers want to answer this one, they can. But so we're getting ready to play Tennessee. Mm-hmm. We match up well with Tennessee. We beat them twice already, but it's tough to beat somebody 3 times, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So let's just say for kicks and giggles that we make it to Houston. We're playing Houston in the Elite Eight for a chance to go to the Final Four. My question to you is, would you rather win that game and go to the Final Four and you get beat by Duke wins the championship?
Oh, no.
Or Houston beats you, Houston beats Duke, and they're out. So would you rather have a UK Final Four, you're going to get beat by Duke, or Houston moves on and they're able to beat Duke?
That is brutal.
That is tough.
That is really, really terrible. Oh my gosh, I would love a Final Four for us. I would love a Final Four for Coach Poe.
Sure.
But man, that would hurt. That would hurt on Duke and Cooper Flag. Oh my goodness.
But I think my answer is, I think you just win until you don't.
Until you don't. I think so too.
Because Louisville was faced with a similar proposition about 13 years ago in the 2012 Final Four, and it was, do you want to lose and whatever? No, do you want to lose to Kentucky and let them go on to a national championship? And I think you just play the cards you dealt and try to win as many games as you can.
I don't want a Leitner moment though in the game. If we get that, I don't want that.
You'd rather lose by 6 or 8 than a last second heartbreaking shot. Yeah.
I'm a hater, and I care a lot about championship count, and I think Duke also has 6. And no, especially if we're going to get to the Final Four, but we know we're not going to win it. Yeah. Then by all means, Houston, take them out, please.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
All right, let's talk library.
Yes.
Yeah, One Book One Frankfort, right?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So One Book One Frankfort is a community reading project that we host every year in April. It's for our adult patrons. We encourage everyone in the Frankfort and Franklin County area to read and discuss the same book and participate in a lot of programming and discussions that are based around that book selection for the year. And for 2025, we have selected Circe by Madeline Miller. And if you are familiar with Greek mythology at all, you will know that Circe is a goddess who plays a very pivotal kind of role in the story of Odysseus. And so this is a retelling of Circe's story, but it's from her point of view.
Okay.
And so it's not just her dealings with Odysseus. It starts from her beginnings. It's kind of her origin story and then plays out throughout. It is a wonderful book. I I think everyone will really enjoy it. It was a #1 New York Times bestseller. It was named one of the best books by NPR, the Washington Post, People, Time. It won all those types of bestseller awards. So we're really excited to choose this year for our one book selection.
And when was this book released?
It was actually released, and that was on the top of my. It was 2018. I'm sorry, I knew that coming in.
It seemed like a newer.
It is a more contemporary book. And Madeline Miller also wrote another book called The Song of Achilles, which is also like mythologically based. So, but during One Book One Frankfort, we encourage everyone to come out. Obviously, we want you to read the book with us. So, starting today, you can stop by the library, and while supplies last, you can pick up a copy of this book for free. Take it home. You get to keep it. Just stop by the desk and say you want to pick up the one book. It is one copy per household, of course, because we have a limited supply. But we encourage you to come and pick that up. That's a little treat for participating with us. Also today, this morning, all of the programming that we'll be doing during One Book went up for registration. So all of those are live on our website. You can always go to our website, which is www.pspl.org to register. You can always call or stop by, and we can sign you up for things. But we've got a really packed calendar.
Oh yeah, lots of stuff starting on April 1st.
Yes,
right?
Starting right off on April 1st, we're excited to welcome Dr. Tucker Landy. He is a retired professor from Kentucky State University, and he is going to be presenting on what we owe to the ancient Greeks. What are the things that we continue to use, enjoy, and benefit from, even daily, that we inherited either directly or indirectly from the ancient Greeks. And I think a lot of those things may surprise you. So we're excited to hear from Dr. Landy on that topic. We also have a really neat craft going on for our adult patrons. It is woven bookmarks. We're going to weave our own bookmarks on a mini handheld loom. That is going to be a lot of fun. We actually made our looms. We 3D printed them, so they're like the perfect little bookmark size, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We're focusing a lot on the art of weaving because that plays a role in the book. In the book, I'm not giving anything away here, I don't think. Circe is given this very beautiful, elaborate loom by Daedalus, and that figures into the story. So we are also excited to host local fiber artist Annie LaForge. She's going to be doing a program to introduce us to the art of weaving, the history and the basics. She's going to be bringing a lot of different looms in and doing demonstrating those, letting folks try that out a little bit. And so she'll have the presentation, but then she's also going to come back on a Saturday afternoon, which is April 19th, and set up for several hours at the library just as an artist at work type situation. And so you can just drop in and watch her work for
that's cool.
Hang around, ask questions, kind of come and go and just see her at work. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, it's the library and it's one book. So we want to discuss the book.
That's right.
We want to see what everybody thinks of it and just really open up the space for engagement and discussion among the community. So we're going to have 2 opportunities that you can come in and discuss the book with us. And those dates are also on the calendar. That's at the very end of the month, so you have lots of time to read and prepare for that. Don't be bashful. A lot of people are afraid of a book discussion, but you can even just come and listen and hear what everybody else has to say. And but we would love for you to come and chat with us about the book.
I feel like book discussion and much like film discussion, anything like that, it can really open up other viewpoints and maybe unlock something
absolutely
in a book that maybe you hadn't thought about, or kind of make you maybe a comment or a question from somebody else reframe something, and then it sort of unlock
For
something in the story.
Having led book discussions for so many years now, it's so funny the number of times that I've had somebody come in who thought they didn't like something or they're confused about something, but by the end of the discussion, the other folks, not even meaning to, have convinced them, oh, maybe I need to look at this again and rethink that. So it's a lot of fun, just to really get other folks' viewpoints and really open up that text in a way that you might not just on your own.
Can I ask you a quick question about this book as well?
Absolutely.
How sort of knowledgeable should one be about Greek mythology? I
don't think you have to be.
Okay.
I think that this could be sort of a standalone situation,
or an entry point, maybe.
An entry point, definitely. I think a lot of us had that period in childhood where we had our fascination, whether with mythology or a lot of people have ancient Egypt or your little thing. So even if you haven't read any mythology or even thought about it since you were in school, this is a nice way just to get back into that. And it really made me want to read up on some other things.
Right.
This kind of genre of like mythological retellings and fiction is pretty popular lately. There's a lot of different books that are coming out in that vein, and so we'll have some materials to give you some read-alikes. So if you enjoy this, then you'll have some options for things that you might also want to pick up after that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and things to kind of branch off from there if this was something you enjoyed.
Yep. One other opportunity that we have, and I don't want to forget about this, we have a VR, which is virtual reality experience that you can also do. This is not a specific evening or day, but it's Tuesdays through Fridays all month long with our digital services librarian Dalton. He's going to be leading folks through a virtual art exhibit called Echoes of Ancient Greece. I've done it. It is so cool. It's like your private little art tour with awesome ancient Greek masterpieces, from sculpture to paintings, all artifacts, all sorts of things. So to register for that, you're going to want to reach out to Dalton, and you can just call the library to do that and set up your appointment.
He won't video you while you do it, will he? That's good.
Yeah, you can look pretty silly.
Just don't think about it. Just think about you're in ancient Greece.
Yes, yeah. He is an excellent teacher, and so he won't lead you wrong. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's a perfect opportunity for I feel like the benefits of virtual reality experience to sort of place you in a time and place that impossible to do so.
Yeah, explore places. You're right.
Yeah, it's a really fun way to try out virtual reality. And we try to pepper in some different VR experiences throughout the year. And so if this is your entry point, I think this is a nice way to start that. So.
Well, lots of events going on in April for One Book, One Frankfort, but we do want to give a quick shout out to Jazz Appreciation Month celebration, right?
We do. We are hosting our annual Jazz Appreciation Month celebration the first Saturday evening of April. That's April 5th at 6 p.m. There at the library. So you will note that is after hours. So we'll open the River Room back up that night. We're so excited to host former Kentucky Poet Laureate and Appalachian poet Frank X. Walker.
And Danville native.
Yes, a Danville native. This year's program is going to be a reflection on Walker's legacy of Kentucky poetry as it intersects with jazz. So we will have Walker taking the stage alongside opera, folk hip-hop singer extraordinaire, wonderful performer, Lachelle Allen, also known as professionally as Sister Lala. If you've heard her perform before, you don't want to miss either of them. They're amazing. And then Dr. Keith McCutcheon from Kentucky State University will be on keyboard that night, accompanying them. We have a whole rhythm section that'll be there. We've got drums, we've got bass, we've got lots of musicians. And so Frank and Sister Lala will sort of be bouncing off each other, responding to each other with poetry and song. It's going to be a really great evening. Also, we will have that evening a poetry open mic session with some Kentucky State University faculty and students, but also the public can come in and sign up for our open mic.
Cool.
So we're very excited about that. You can sign up for that at the library, of course, on our website, or by giving us a call. Our sponsors on that program are KJAM Collective, Kentucky State University, and McCutcheon Music, and we really appreciate their support on that event. So very excited about that one, too.
And that's in the River Room?
It is in the River Room,
I
yes.
feel like that's maybe one of the few times that you all have had music in the River Room?
We have it every once in a while, but that's something that we're working on to bring more in. So
that's a good space,
so
too.
Keep your eyes and your ears peeled for that, because we'll be having more music coming up.
Okay, nice. That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Before we let you go, do you have any best or worst endings of a series?
I do. I'm going to go worst.
Okay.
With Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. That's a good call.
Yeah.
I loved Game of Thrones, and I think it was just operating at the highest level for about 6 straight seasons. And then I think for whatever reason, the showrunners, they wanted to leave. Yeah. And so I think we missed about 6 episodes where we should have. They should have been there.
I was so disappointed.
There are a lot of people who'd like to take a crack at that one, and just to give it a do-over.
Well, maybe George will finally finish the books, right, and find out what will happen. Who knows?
All right.
Thank you all so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thanks for being here and filling us in.